So welcome back to CE 107. For the continuation of our lesson, I am going to discuss the division, branches, and related fields of hydrology. So from the word itself, division, saan ba nahati ang aspeto ng hydrology? Ito ay nahati sa dalawa, engineering and applied hydrology. Engineering hydrology deals with the planning, design, and operation of engineering projects for the control and use of water. This includes the design of dams, reservoirs, riverbanks, and even line canals and pipe culverts. Number 2 is applied hydrology. Applied hydrology is the study of hydrological cycle, precipitation, runoff, relationship between precipitation and runoff, hydrographs, flood routing. This is more on the research aspects. If you wish to study the effects of rain, the amount of rainfall in a specific place, the mitigation of flood, dito yan. So, the difference between engineering and applied. Engineering, sa planning siya and design. Applied is more beforehand. So, it is the study and research and investigation. Now, from the two divisions, we will elaborate it by giving you an example of the different applications of hydro that is subdivided in different branches. Now, the first branch stated here is chemical hydrology. Chemical hydrology is the study of chemical characteristics of water. It examines how water is affected as it comes into contact with different materials on and below the Earth's surface. It includes studies on the mechanisms by which salts, asin, are transported by such processes as erosion, runoff, evaporation, and precipitation. When we say chemical characteristics, dito napapasok yung aspeto ng pH level, density, turbidity, temperature, and other factors affecting the composition of water. Kasi nga, water is the most common type of liquid. So, it is very much used and researched until now. So, as hydrochemists, that is what they do. Number 2, ecohydrology is the study of ecological processes in the hydrologic cycle. As these processes occur in the soil and plant foliage, ecohydrologists study how the hydrologic system affects plant physiology, soil moisture, and plant diversity and spatial orientation in various regions over a period of time. Ecohydrology has 4 main components. Number 1, infiltration of precipitation into the soil. Number 2, evapotranspiration. Third, leakage of water into deeper portions of the soil not accessible to the plant. And last, the runoff from the ground surface. Plants need water as much as people do. It hydrates their body in order for them to grow. So in ecohydrology, the moisture, simply say water content of soil, is essential in the development of plants. Like some other plants need more water to survive, the others naman don't. Dito papasok ang role ni ecohydrology in determining the process and the importance of water in plants. Hydrogeology or geohydrology is the study of the distribution and movement of water in aquifers and shallow porous media, that is, the porous layers of rock, sand, silt, and gravel below the Earth's surface. Hydrogeology examines the rate of diffusion of water through these media as the water moves down its energy gradient. The flow of water in the shallow subsurface is also pertinent to the fields of soil science, agriculture, and civil engineering. The flow of water and other fluids, hydrocarbons and geothermal fluids in deeper formations is relevant to the fields of geology, geophysics, and petroleum geology. So our Earth's surface is very complex. It is made up of different materials such as rock, sand, silt, and gravel. Like plants, they also absorb moisture or water as well. In hydrogeology, the flow of water in these surface are studied. Number 4, hydroinformatics is the adaptation of information technology to hydrology and water resources applications. Its purpose is to facilitate decision making for many critical applications. Hydrological data are collected, stored, processed, and analyzed using modeling techniques and simulations based on the knowledge of particular systems. Three common types of hydrological data collected are the rate of flow of major rivers and streams, precipitation, and water height in wells. Say for example, you want to pursue applied hydrology, so you start to gather information such as the temperature, turbidity, also the water height or level in some rivers or wells, also the flow of rivers and streams. So what happens next after your gathering of information? So there is a need for you to collect and interpret these data. You may use modeling graphs, data gathering applications, and simulations to help you with the conclusion you are opting for. So the technology will help you in this aspect, and that is the role of hydroinformatics. Next is hydrometeorology. It is the study of the transfer of water and energy between land and water body surfaces and the lower atmosphere. Hydrometeorology incorporates meteorology to solve hydrological problems. These problems include forecasting flood or drought, or determining water resources and the safety of dams. Hydrometeorologists try to determine through empirical data or theory how the dynamics of water in the atmosphere affects the greatest levels of precipitation reaching the ground. The domain of hydrometeorology in physical sciences is not very clearly defined, as it involves cloud physics, climatology, weather forecasting, and hydrology, to name a few. So, hydrometeorology, sinasabi dito na very broad yung subject na to. Pero this branch is like an example of engineering hydrology because you are now studying the effects of land and water surfaces, what it will do if there is drought or flood, Di ba we use river controls to protect slopes or communities near a river bank? So we use surveys and measuring devices to determine the alert level or height of possible tsunamis, flood, and etc. So dun papasok yung role ng hydrometeorology. Hydromorphology is the study of the physical characteristics of bodies of water on the Earth's surface, including river basins, channels, streams, and lakes. Water quality, levels of pollution, and biological components needed for ecological system maintenance are a few areas assessed when classifying water systems. Hydromorphology studies the dynamics of groundwater flow into channels, lakes, and streams. It measures flow patterns and geometry as well as routing flows to avoid flooding or drought. Almost synonymous siya sa hydrometeorology, pero let us differentiate each word. Hydro means water, so hydro plus meteorology, meaning may kinalaman yung climate and space sa kanya. So, from the definition kanina, from number 5, the energy between land and water body and the atmosphere. So, yun ang tatandaan nyo. And hydromorphology naman means form. Morphology means form. So, in short, characteristics. So, it is, again, the study on the physical characteristics of the bodies of water. Number 7, 7, isotope hydrology is the study of the isotopic signatures of water. This subfield of hydrology utilizes isotopic dating to determine the origin and age of water throughout its movement within the hydrologic cycle. Isotopic dating involves measuring the levels of deviation in the isotopes of oxygen and hydrogen in water. Researchers are able to determine the groundwater dated as far back as the Ice Age by using these techniques. Isotope hydrology deals with the water usage policy, mapping aquifers, conservation of water resources, and maintaining pollution levels. Ang sabi sa Google, isotopes are two or more types of atoms that have the same atomic number. So, ang goal ng isotope hydrology ay i-evaluate ang age and origin of groundwater or surface waters. Since same composition or almost similar sila, diba? Gaya ng lakes, rivers, streams, they are almost the same characteristics pero in different places or location. So, yun yung isotopic hydrology. Next, we proceed to surface water hydrology. It is the study of bodies of water on or near the Earth's surface. Rivers, dams, lakes, and reservoirs are all part of this area of study, which further includes the systems used in recreational activity and transportation. Surface hydrology addresses issues pertaining to eroding soils and streams due to surface flow, flooding, nutrient runoff, and pollutants are a few of the effects addressed, as well as the destruction of civil constructions such as dams. Methods of hydraulic and hydrologic design regulation are also undertaken in this field of study, as researchers simulate the long and short-term effects of anthropogenically manipulated surface water forms. So kung ikukumpara natin yung hydrometeorology to surface water hydrology, almost same lang naman sila ng goal, that is to evaluate the energy between land and water. Yung hydrometeorology is the study and the investigation, and ang kinaibahan lang ni surface water hydro, technical aspect na siya, or in other words, application on the engineering hydrology. So dito papasok yung design and paano ba ma-address yung mga issues na may kinalaman sa tubig. So yun, kasi 'di ba usually ang problema natin erosion. So ano ba yung mga ginagawa natin as construction industry? 'Di ba we build retaining walls or even mga structures to protect the slope. So dito yon sa surface water. Although water siya, pero kasi ang soil has moisture, meron siyang water content. So, pwede natin siyang i-compare dito or ipasok dito since it's all part on the engineering design. And, again, water. So, that's it. The related fields are the associated or the fields belonging to hydrology. These include number 1, aquatic chemistry. Aquatic chemistry studies chemical reactions in aqueous solutions, including acid-base reactions, oxidation reduction reactions, precipitation reactions, and dissolution reactions. It can be applied to addressing issues on water pollution and treatment and creating sustainable methods of production with little environmental impact. Again, this is an application of chemical hydrology. Why is it important? Because we live in a world where we are not sure how clean the bodies of water are. So addressing this problem will make such a huge impact on our environment. So I will give you a little question. What are we going to do about it? Sana ma-address siya sooner. Number 2, civil engineering. Related to the study of hydrology, civil engineers contribute to the planning, design, construction, and maintenance of structures associated with hydraulics. For instance, the engineers are involved in controlling water flow by way of draining swamps, municipal sewage disposal, flood control, and irrigation. They also work in creating structures that help route water flow in dams and bridges. So we, the civil engineers, design and build infrastructure projects, not just high-rise buildings, but also hydraulic systems. So we are so in demand. We just have to select which field suits us properly. But In hydrology, it focuses more on how to mitigate or control the flood, the sewage disposal. So, magandang i-explore ang hydrology as civil engineers. Number 3 is climatology. Climatology is the study of climate, which is scientifically defined as weather conditions averaged over a period of time. It is a branch of the atmospheric sciences. Average precipitation and temperature trends are measured over specific regions. Part of the water cycle is precipitation, so climate and weather changes play a vital role in hydrology. So next is number 4, environmental engineering. Environmental engineering combines science and engineering principles to address ways in which to improve the quality of air, land, and water for living organisms. Chemical, biological, and geological sciences are incorporated into the techniques of mechanical, civil, and chemical engineering to address issues of public health and policy. Remediation of polluted sites, sanitary engineering, and waste reduction and prevention are key areas of concern. In hydrology, we are also concerned about the quality of water and how it will contribute to the survival of organisms, including us, human beings. So it is important to protect the environment at all cost. Number 5, physical geography. Physical geography deals with topics concerning the Earth's surface, including glaciers, landforms, rivers, and oceans, climate, and hydrological processes driven by the sun. It involves the systematic study of patterns in the biosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. So, climate change has been evident throughout the years. The ice or glaciers melt into water and slowly drowning off some of the land surface. So in physical geography, we are dealing with the effect of climate to the volume of water on Earth. So, malapit na itong matapos. Tiwala lang, guys. Number 7, hydraulic engineering. Hydraulic engineering is a subdiscipline of civil engineering that focuses on the flow and conveyance of fluids, particularly water. It involves the design and construction of hydraulic structures such as bridges, dams, canals, channels, and levees, and also aligns itself with the goals of sanitary and environmental engineering. So later you will also study hydraulics, wherein it tackles the characteristics of fluids, the fundamental flow principles, and determination of the critical volumes of hydraulic structures. So, dun papasok ang hydraulic engineering. Number 8, limnology. Limnology involves the study of inland waters, both saline and fresh. Specifically, it is the study of lakes, ponds, and rivers, natural man siya or man-made, including their biological, physical, chemical, and hydrologic aspects. So, self-explanatory and brief and simple ang kanyang explanation. So, as limnologists, they study the bodies of water. And last but not the least, oceanography. Oceanography is the study of the Earth's seas and oceans. It includes the geological movement of tectonic plates under the Earth's surface, physical, oceanographic characteristics, chemical processes, and marine biological processes taking place in these bodies of water. So it is important to know the behavior of ocean because ocean contributes almost 71% of the Earth's surface. So that concludes my presentation on the branches, related fields, and divisions of hydrology. I hope you learned something new today. On our next meeting, please prepare for an evaluation test for everyone. Please be there, and this slide and also the past slides will be available on YouTube, and I will also link it on the LMS along with the modules 1 through and 3. So please review and write down everything so that you can remember, and I will prepare a short but an easy exam for or quiz for everyone. So thank you and God bless.